Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Yeah.
This is the world's favorite place to go for fun and informative car talk. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. And coming up, I did want to note that Windstream and Kinetic did not have a flatulence episode this morning, and we are here to bring you the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, coming to you from the Sugar Shack Studios just outside Houston. So
nice.
Thank you very much for joining us, I think. So, I've missed a page that
it's okay.
I'm trying to backpedal and find it, but I can't find it, so I think I found it.
Very good.
All right. We're going to talk to Jesse Coletto here in just a second about E-FireX. And it's an important story because we all hear and have actually seen, and in fact, I watched a video this week of a fire taking place on an EV. Mm-hmm. You can't put it out. It's like a magnesium fire.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you can't put it out. So anyway, we're going to talk to him. And then Jeff is going to have a special report about, I put here movie prop cars because Mars gave me the information that it was a prop. I'm thinking, a prop, like a car that was used in a movie. Well,
you're just going to be enthralled because it's about propellers.
You're going to be so excited.
Yeah.
Propellers.
Yeah.
You didn't put that in there.
No.
You put prop. I'm going to come over there and slap you.
That's 9:38. It's now 10:01.
It is. And that wasn't a complaint. That was a threat.
It was a promise.
A promise. So there's that. Jesse Coletto is with a company called E-FireX. Jesse, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hey, where are you? Where are you speaking to us from?
Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada.
Reno.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They got a big car show coming up.
They do.
Yeah.
Coming up here pretty soon in August.
Yeah. Are you going to go to that?
Hot August nights.
Hot August nights. Do you go?
I'll be there for sure. I'm a car collector. I have 2 old VWs and cruise them around.
And look at the smile on his face.
I know, he's all happy about that.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about E-FireX. How did you get involved with this?
Yeah, so, I'm a retired firefighter. I was a firefighter for 25 years here in Clark County in Nevada, in Las Vegas, and as well, and finished my career in Reno, Nevada. And, 4 years ago, I started seeing the advancement of EV cars in the market, right? And, I just noticed that they were not going anywhere. And we were coming across, a couple of fires, as you mentioned, they're hard, to put out just with water and any other foam type agents that, currently are in the market. So, my background is, business marketing degree but became a firefighter, and I just knew I saw a problem and, decided to come up with a solution.
And so what is the name of the product?
So the agent itself is called Triple E. And the reason why it's called Triple E, because the agent's only composed of 3 ingredients that go into the formula. And they're all natural ingredients. And the company is E-FireX. And what this agent is, so as you know, lithium batteries, very, very difficult to put out.
Right.
And the reason being is because they're self-oxidizing. And our current agents in the market are smotherers type agents, meaning they lay on top to suffocate the oxygen from coming above.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Fire increases, right? Well, lithium's a whole different, beast, because these smother agents just sit on top, and the lithium fires are just saying, okay, I'm just going to wait till you dissipate and break through again, right? That's your thermal runaway. That's what we're seeing happen. After each firefighter comes in and knocks the fire down, the next thing you know, it reignites, 10, 20, 30 minutes later. So that's the issue with the current agents right now. So what I decided to do is I needed to develop something that is well advanced and actually travels inside that battery cell and or around the casing itself and bonds with it and just redirects that oxygen from, igniting other battery cells to the actual formula. So I was able to create that and find the solution to knocking down and extinguishing that oxygen process of those lithium batteries.
Now, is it available only to firefighters, or can I get a hold of it?
Yeah, so right now, the concentration was with the launch, the plan, and what we decided to roll out with is to arm our first responders right throughout the nation. Every municipality and city, get them well equipped to fight these fires. Because they're the first responders, right? They're the ones that arrive on scene.
Yes.
Immediately. Then our second, process, which actually we just launched our new website, and we're pretty excited about that, which is our consumer, component of it. And this is where, the public will be able to, get online and order our fire extinguishers, through online. And we're working right now with major retailers to get the product in shelves in their retail store. So, everyone that owns some sort of EV, either be a bike, scooter, that they're storing in their garage or in their home or in their apartment, they could, buy the extinguisher and have it on site.
Is it packaged like a regular fire extinguisher? Like the kind that we can buy at whatever, the kind that you can hang right next to the stove if you've got some sort of grease fire, or in the garage if you have a gasoline fire. Yep. Is it packaged that way?
Exactly. So it's packaged just exactly like the current extinguishers we see in the market right now. The extinguisher comes with a wall hook, that you can brace to your wall, either in your garage, kitchen, and wherever you have your EV plugged in and stuff like that. So yes, we fall under all the guidelines that UL Solutions and NFPA put together for the current fire extinguishers. We fall under all those guidelines as well. So all of them come very well equipped for any consumer to apply.
How much does it cost? Like $5,000 for one bottle of this stuff?
Yeah, that's what's pretty amazing. So, the ingredient in, the formula, it's an all natural, formula. There's no chemicals involved. And the reason being for that is because one thing, being a firefighter, we, through the whole industry, and we're just seeing it now, right? Because we're seeing a lot of, firemen, throughout the nation, start, popping up with some sort of cancer, and which is pretty unfortunate because we've been using all these agents with chemical base, right? So in designing this technology, I didn't need it to add any chemical, right? Because I found the exact, formula to extinguish these, lithium battery fires, and it's a microtechnology as well. So, I was able to compose everything of natural ingredients, are very inexpensive, which allows me to, have the pricing very inexpensive for the consumer as well.
Interesting. Where can you get this stuff?
Right now, we're online at E-FireX.com, www.efirx.com. And we're, as I mentioned, we're just rolling out our, our distribution agreements with, major retailers. One of them being Napa Auto Parts. We've met with them. I'm going to be flying to Atlanta here in August, and signing a deal with them. So, it could be on their shelves all over Napa, all over the nation, and current other retailers as Home Depots, Granger, and your Lowe's and stuff like that. So we're pretty excited about the rollout.
So if I've got my EV in the garage, and how big of a fire extinguisher would I need if it caught on fire?
Yeah, so if it's if you have a car, I would say, either a 2-liter fire extinguisher, because you got to remember, the whole point of the extinguisher, and this goes for the current extinguishers in the market as well, is you have that 30 to 60 second time frame from noticing the fire to grabbing the extinguisher and knocking that fire out and getting it controlled before the fire department gets there, right? We always recommend, first thing you should do is call 911. As you notice the fire, either be your EV or, combustible type fire, grab the extinguisher and knock it down right away. the whole point of, the extinguisher is not to try to fight the fire like firefighters do, right? We want the public to exit the house. But what this agent's going to do compared to the current agent in the market, this agent's actually going to activate and put that fire out, as you knock it down, your initial knockdown. So a 2-liter fire extinguisher in your garage will definitely do that job for you. There's plenty of agent in there that if you notice a fire in your EV, car, it will knock it down, and they'll, deploy all the agent out of that extinguisher and get out of the house and let the fire department do the rest.
Well, one of the questions that I have for you is that, from my knowledge, most of the batteries for these cars is, generally speaking, under the floorboard. How are you? And I can only imagine you just have some sort of runaway event, and under the floorboard. How in the world are you going to get to it?
Yeah, so once you notice a fire that's in thermal runaway, it's going to have a breach point. It's going to expose itself. Because lithium doesn't have we call it it doesn't have an incipient phase, right? It doesn't have stages of growth. It's 0 to 3,000 degrees immediately. Your typical ordinary fire has stages, right? It has your ordinary stage, and it grows and needs more oxygen to keep growing. Lithium, man, soon as that thermal runaway and that little white smoke starts seeping away, within seconds, that flame is going to, penetrate through that plastic or titanium, casing. What's beautiful about the agent and the technology, it's a microtechnology, meaning if you think of little squares suspended in an agent that's non-water based, and these little squares, when they contact heat at a certain amount, which is around 700 degrees, they activate as an accordion. One side of that square will bond with the source, and the other component will just act as an accordion, start sucking the oxygen out of it. So as these little squares, if the batteries are not exposed, but you notice a big heat source, just spray it on that casing, because it's going to bond with that casing, and it's going to suck and redirect that oxygen from those battery cells to the actual agent itself. And with our testing, we've tested the agent with titanium, plastic, you name it, metal, and it redirects that heat source to the agent itself, and you'll see like a boiling effect on the agent. It's kind of like a cocoon effect. We call it the word that we use in the municipalities and with the fire department is encapsulation. It encapsulates the actual casing of those batteries, and it redirects all the heat source to the actual agent itself. So it's pretty incredible. This microtechnology is the future of firefighting, and the future of agents with no chemicals, no PFAS, no PFOS. And it's pretty exciting, to introduce it to the market.
Well, I know that when we have these great big, huge chemical plant explosions and ultimately fires here in the Houston area, and goodness knows we've got a whole city just to the east of us over here that we can see it. I know that once it gets out of control, that they will bring in these great big plastic containers of some sort of firefighting foam. But when they bring it in, it's just in a liquid. And I guess that when they add the water to it is when it turns into this foam. Yours isn't that particular kind, though, is it?
No, and Michael, a great point there, because one of the things that when that foam when water is introduced to that foam agent, that liquid, the chemical reaction, that's the expansion you see.
Yes,
and that's the smothering that you need to lay out fuel source to cut off the oxygen, right?
Right.
I remove that from the agent itself. So with my agent, with Triple E, you're not going to see that expansion anymore. But that layer of, liquid still going to, apply to that fuel source and knock that fire out. And the microtechnologies that's within that liquid, that's the activation. It's already acting within and knocking down the fire and consuming all that heat source and toxins coming out of that, those fuel type fires. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, well, going back to the smothering effect of that agent for chemical fires and gasoline, petroleum-related chemicals, that foam stays on the ground for a long time. And, especially over there where all of our chemical plants are mainly concentrated along the Houston Ship Channel, if they get enough of it on there, it's to get this runoff effect into Galveston Bay, down the Ship Channel, and ultimately into the Gulf of Mexico. And I can imagine that's not very good for the environment.
Not good at all, and that's what we're experiencing right now throughout the nation, actually, and actually world. It's these forever chemicals, they call them. They've been now they're finding traces on water sources within municipalities, cities, counties, because all this foam stuff that we've been applying, thinking it was going to dissipate and biodegrade within time, has never left, right? It's in our water sources. It's everywhere you go, you hear about it now. So that's a big issue, especially with the marine life, because the runway, that's where it's going, right? So I'm pretty excited about this invention here and releasing EEE and E-FireX to the industry, because it's something that's very well needed, and it's going to change the way we look at agents and firefighting, and it's something that also is going to keep up with the times with technology, with EVs, right, and lithium, and as it moves forward. So I'm pretty excited.
I would be pumped up about it too. Well, the other thing is that I know that there are more and more and more. The public, I don't think, is really aware of it. These great big 18-wheelers that are autonomous, so there's no human being in there, and outside of accidents, I can only imagine if there's some sort of component that goes bad and you start a lithium fire in one of these. Granted, they have things built into these 18-wheelers where they'll pull themselves off to the side of the road. But I can only imagine an 18-wheeler battery in a runaway mode and a firefighter getting out there going, what can I do?
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring that up, because right now we're just seeing cars, right?
Right.
And like you're saying, and they're pumping out these semi-trucks, 18-wheelers, they're pumping out the school buses. So these, they're mandated to have a suppression system within the battery casing of these big, vehicles. But that suppression system, if you could take a wild guess of the performance that how effective it's gonna work with those lithium batteries, the manufacturer is stating that it's only going to be 30% effective in putting out the initial fire of these, especially in a school bus, because the school buses, you're carrying your kids, you're carrying commuting them to school, right? And the semi trucks, 30% is what the manufacturer is saying. So we're really falsifying the public and telling them, there's a fire suppression system, on these vehicles. When that suppression system, the manufacturer's telling you it's only effective for 30%, So it's a big eye opener, and I'm a big advocate. I'm really, I call it steering the pod, really, because I want to bring education to the, not only the public but the city officials, Congress and Senate, and saying, hey, look. You
look like one of those radicals from the 1960s. I'm telling you that right now. You're just an old hippie. I know. I can see that look on your face.
He's too young.
Right.
He's too young.
Jesse, it's great to talk to you. E-FireX.com.
Correct.
Yeah,
right.
Well, good. Listen, man, what a great interview. Very informative. We sure appreciate you joining us today. Best of luck. Keep us posted. You got anything new coming out? Let us know.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. And see you guys at Hot August Nights in Reno, Nevada.
There you go. Take care. Jesse Coletto with E-FireX.com. Can't get enough? Most people can't. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and new daily podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our live 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, at InWheelTime.com, Saturdays 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Talk show will continue right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
But I was complaining. So I told you that I would not.
9:38. Yeah.
So 9:38, and I slipped and complained.
Well, no, you were just explaining an experience of your
work environment.
Yeah, work environment.
Propeller motivated aircraft.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, they really bother me.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because after they get out of maintenance, they take it out there in the taxiway and
wind it up.
Forever and ever. And they never blow up. It's amazing.
It's like those little rubber band airplanes. I was going to use one of them as a cover on here, but I decided.
No, that's why I send you the.
No, but you have to understand something. That wasn't the prop car that you told me that we were going to do.
Well, that looks like a prop car.
No, that's a propeller car.
Well,
here's Jeff with this week's Inside Jeff's Mind. Close the door.
There you go.
Here we go.
They're cool, except for the blades, which could quickly dissect unsuspecting birds, critters, or even people. This first one that we see here is a 1932 Helicron. The Helicron was found in a barn in the year 2000. It featured a propeller to help
That's
it move.
That's exactly like that aircraft out there on the runway I was just telling you about.
It's believed to have been abandoned in the late 1930s and underwent a restoration to bring it back to life.
Why?
The propellers would have proved to be a real man-eater. At a test in 2016, bystanders would throw sausages into the motion of the blade and let the sausages get all shredded up.
Yeah. Great.
It actually has a Citroen.
July 4th idea.
Yeah, Citroen GS flat 4 engine in it, and it goes about 75 miles per hour.
You're talking about a Citroen.
Citroen.
Yes, one of them French things.
Yep.
How about this beauty here?
It's a 1921 Layet Helica. The 1921 Layet Helica is one of 30 built by Frenchman Marcel Layet. He originally built airplanes before creating the propeller-powered land vehicle. His early thoughts were cars were too heavy, and he wanted to create something more lightweight and aerodynamic. This particular one uses a Harley-Davidson V-twin engine, 18 horsepower, 1,000 cc's, and it helps propel the vehicle at a top speed of 106 miles per hour.
So I assume that the propeller is in front of the driver.
I would assume that, yeah.
Here's a good one.
This one's a Stuttgart Ventimobile.
Stuttgart
Ventimobile. This one is powered. It's a newer propeller-operated vehicle. This is one of the newer ones. The propeller acts as a wind turbine and uses moving air to propel the car in the back wheels. So that's kind of a unique design. It's kind of new. This the vehicle was created by the Stuttgart University Aerospace.
So do you get out and push it to get the wind to go through the blade?
I don't know, but we need to take it out to the track next Saturday
Yeah.
Stuttgart University aerospace engineer students in 2008 designed it, and they went on to win first place in the Alias race of the Dutch town of Dan Helder. So
I remember old Dan.
I think he was a musician. This next one is a Schlorwagen.
A what?
A Schlorwagen.
Schlorwagen.
The automobile is a vision brought to life by a German engineer, Karl Schlor. The oddly shaped car was designed to be a contender for setting new records in the Autobahn. Sadly, it never got close to living to that dream. Schlor
it's
had
got a real sour taste to it.
No, it's picklish. Knowledge of planes and wanted to bring some of that to the tech auto industry. The original concept was built in 1936 and showcased at the 1939 Berlin Auto Show. It was shelved due to the onset of World War II.
Yeah.
So if the war hadn't started, you would be seeing these.
They could have gone over there and mowed down all those Germans.
All of the Walmart
ground them all up right in
the
there.
world. It would have been parked there, all kinds of stuff. Now the last one is an Argentina Aerocar. It's a prototype from Argentina that was created in 1953. There are claims that it was able to travel up to 100 miles per hour. There was a time when there was speculation that it would be considered for mass production in the United States, which never happened. Also, there was rumors fueled that interest by the Chrysler Corporation showed in the car that would ultimately meet its demise in 1955. So it was actually a car up until 1955. There you go.
Huh.
Propeller-driven automobiles.
I have so many thoughts in my mind right now about what to do with the prop cars.
Prop cars.
You know, it's interesting. Where did you come up with that idea to do a feature on propeller cars?
I just do stuff on the interweb and kind of look for things to do, and that popped up as one of the...
He does a search for stupid car stuff.
Well, I mean...
It's interesting. It's funny.
It's nothing to complain about.
I'm not complaining at all. I'm congratulating.
Not since 938.
Well, there you go. So...
If folks are just joining us, you need to tune back into the 938 part of the show.
Yeah, don't do that.
Catch it on the podcast.
Catch it on the podcast later on.
Podcast.
When would the 938 podcast air, Mars?
Thursday?
Is that Thursday?
Thursday
podcast, okay. Hey, today's In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Loopy Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station. Also, Gulf Coast Auto Shield and our friends over at Pro-Am Auto Accessories. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipe means when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the first Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here is the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katie's another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located on 99 the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station. Located just around the corner from Kyle Field, it's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Going to Louisiana, the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont is on I-10, so you can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants has the best Tex-Mex anywhere, and you're invited anytime. Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your Save the Paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your cars finish without a full repaint. Searching for the real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get that thing protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need or can't afford. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today, and online at gcautoshield.com.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch,
and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.